Hello everyone, welcome to Brenda's Brushstrokes and Bisque, painting live on October 6th at 7 p.m. Central Time. So we will just sit tight here a little bit because it's only 6:59. And we will wait for everyone to get on. So I hope everyone had a good week. Getting our video up on the tablet so I can see your comments. So again, hello everyone, welcome to Brenda's Brushstrokes and Bisque, painting live at 7 p.m. on October 6th, and it's Central Time. So we have our box that we're working on, which is called How Sweet It Is, which is our corn candies. They are two-sided, so you can have two different faces, really, if you wanted. And then we have our little corn candies that we decorated as well, and you could do different things on those. I guess I can show you what we're shipping this week. This is your October box. Fall is calling. It is a pumpkin, so it looks like a pumpkin, but it has the scarecrow and the pumpkins as the candle holders, and you will be getting the candle topper and the tea light. You'll be getting glitter, and you'll be getting the little patches, but he is two-sided. So you wouldn't have to put the candle topper in there. You could put, if you wanted, you could make an arrangement and put, say, sunflowers and things in there for a fall arrangement, but that is the box that I am currently packing for you guys. UPS did come to the classroom today to pick them up at 3 p.m. and I do see that they're not scanned in yet, so you should be getting, they'll show up here sooner or later. I still have about 25 left to do, and I'll get most of them done tomorrow and probably a couple on Monday yet. And then if anyone paid late, like today or yesterday, yours probably isn't going to go out till Monday either. Just because it's kind of an assembly line thing, and now I'm in the assembly line part of doing the boxes where everyone has extras. But this is your next box. I think it's pretty cute. And then we did have two other sizes. So some of you did add these to it as well, the small and the medium, and they are two-sided as well. And they also take the candle topper. Some of you got the votive topper. And if anyone wants these, I can have them again next month. It's kind of a cute little set. And I can take a picture and post maybe a more close-up picture for colors if you guys wanted colors, but they're just nice fall colors. So that is our box that we're shipping. So we have our candy corns that we're working on. And we had started with the white last week, so that's where we are going to pick up with. So we will go with our white OS 431 white. And we're just going to shake that up. And then I am going to put it on my I'm using the styrofoam plate again tonight, so it's not shiny, so you guys can kind of see kind of a different way of dry brushing, how I dry brush when I'm dry brushing at the classroom. And I'm going to use, let's see, what was I using last time here? I had to be using one of these. I'm going to use this boar bristle brush. It's a Royal and Majestic by Royal and Langnickel. It's called the Majestic brush. It is the Chungking bristles. It's a round. It's a size 8. So they are natural boar bristle brushes, and that's what you want to use for dry brushing. This is the new acrylic handles that they come up. I also have the turquoise handles, which are the wood-handled ones, but the bristle are the same. So normally I go on the palette and get my paint and brush it out on my paper towel. But this month we're showing you kind of a different way of loading your brush. And I just go and take my brush and swipe it along the edge. And I grab that paint and then I kind of bring it over and then brush, brush, brush until it's pretty much off the styrofoam or paper plate or the palette, whatever you're using. I usually use a tile. And then I don't brush out on the paper towel because when I brushed on here, it kind of got to the point where it's all worked into the bristles. And now we can go to our piece and then lightly brush back and forth just like we always do with our dry brushing. And then again, when I want to load again, I bring my brush, just swipe it on the edge of that, kind of bring that paint over and then brush, brush to work it in. So now there's really no paint left there, so I know it's worked in good. And now I'll come to my piece and brush back and forth. I want to brush, I don't want to do big back and forth strokes where I'm along my orange because I don't want to have to touch that all up. So I generally, for me, I kind of do like the letter C stroke. I start away from that edge and then I work towards it because I can see where my paint is kind of going on. And it's okay if we get it on the stitches. And then I just go and keep grabbing that paint like I showed you. Grab a little bit, brush it out on the styrofoam plate instead of on the paper towel. And again, that's just a different way of loading your brush instead of brushing it all out on the paper towel and kind of wasting it. So we're going to just brush, brush, brush. And when I have crevices, I mean, we're going to talk a little bit about kind of the basics. We have a couple new ladies on tonight, so wherever you have crevices or indents, you want to brush across them. You don't want to brush with them. If you brush with them, that kind of fills that in with the white, and we don't want to fill it in. We want to keep that white, the black down in our crevices. And so I just keep turning my piece, grabbing my paint, brush, brush, brush. Come to my piece again. I'll do my little C strokes right up to that, where that black is down in there. I'm not going back and forth across it. This is the only time I don't, is when the colors are butting up to each other, because then I would have to come back and kind of redo all my orange, and we want to not have to do that any more than necessary. So I grab my paint, brush, 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 and then come to my piece. So I've kind of worked my way all the way around that, where the two parts of the candy corn meet. So now we can see that that's like a shade whiter, so we're gonna go on the rest of it here down. If I do have a little too much, I will go and brush out on the paper towel. That kind of happens when I'm talking, but normally I don't. I just grab enough that I can brush, and it's still just like dry brushing. And you are still dry brushing. It's just a different way to load your brush. And I got a couple hairs here I got to get rid of. So again, we have our crevice down in our ghost little head up here. So we want to brush across those. Kind of brush across his nose and his eyes. One more hair there yet. So that's a little bit wet there, but we're going to build up to it, so I'll just brush around it. It's not that big of a deal. So grab a little bit, brush it out, get rid of that hair that's in there. There we go. And you can brush back and forth, or I tend to do more of a C stroke, which is like the letter C on these smooth areas, because it kind of gets the paint down in there a little bit better. So I actually did buy a bag of candy corn this week and devoured that. It's some crazy tasting stuff, but I kind of like to have one bag of it a year at least. I know some people either like it or hate it. I tend to kind of like it. Kind of like the circus peanuts. Alright, so now I'm just going all over my piece. Like I started in the front, I worked my way around the back, and now we're kind of back to the front here. So you can see he's getting whiter. Some people will ask it, ooh, so my brush is still shedding some hairs here, so I'm just going to wipe that off with my paper towel. Get those hairs out of there. So I just want to pick him up and get underneath his little tail here too. You want to get your different areas. So sometimes you have to hold it in different angles. So again, I'm just swiping past my white, brushing it out on my palette there until it's down to the plate. And then it's usually dry enough that I don't have to worry about it unless I'm talking too much and not paying attention or have a loose hair that got in the way like we just did. So we're going to work our way around one more time, and then we'll let this one sit and go to our other ones. So again, I just swipe by my white there and get a little bit at a time. And I want to come and get the top here too. So does everyone have their pieces already painted? I don't think I've seen any new postings this week of still got little hairs coming out of the sky. So once in a while when you have a new brush, you will have new hairs come out of it for a little bit. That's not unusual. Like don't get upset about it. Just pick them out and keep going. Some brushes will lose more than others, but it's not unusual for new brushes to lose their hair. Hopefully not too many anyway. And we're going to brush back and forth across his mouth here. Again, we're going to cross that mouth so that we keep our black down in our crevice, because that will keep us having our shading down there. So Denise says she finished hers. All right, that's good, because we are well into October already. It's already the 6th today. Time is just flying by. We had really good weather here the last 3 days. It was like the 70s, but today we have rain, wind, and down to 50. So we kind of had a change of weather. Oh, Linda says she was sick. Well, I hope you're doing better, Linda. Seems like there's a lot of sinus and colds and things going around again, or yet, I don't know. So again, I'm just like getting all of the white area, working from the front to the back. That way the back can dry while we're on the front. Grabbing that little bit of paint, brush, brush, brush. Did anybody go to that North or South Carolina ceramic show last weekend? I think there was a ceramic show in, I'm not sure if it was North Carolina or, I'm thinking South Carolina. See, Janet says, hi Janet, how are you doing at your getting settled at your new place? Alright, so we're going to let this little dude dry and go on to our next one. So this is the little guy that we worked on last time. So we're going to just, so that's a little wet. I'm going to brush that out on the paper towel. So you can still brush on the paper towel, so it's just really a different way to load your brush. That's all I was trying to show you guys. So you're not, if you wanted to try it and like not waste so much paint. It's like I really have hardly any paint on the paper towel there already tonight. But it's still dry brushing. Just grab a little. You just want to make sure you're only grabbing a little. If you get too much, it'll be too wet. You still want to grab just that little bit. See, we don't have snow here yet, so that's good. Let's see. Wanda says 4. What do you have 4 of, Wanda? Or you have 4 of them done, maybe? So I had a little bit of kiln problems last week. It had a failure when it fired, so I actually fixed my backup kiln because that was needing fixing, and I think I have that figured out, so that's back online. And then what else? Oh, the printer acted up again because it seems like it's about 6 months old, and it seems like they like to act up. So it was kind of a long week. So now we're going to go to our other piece. So you can see the one on my left is a lot more whiter than the one on my right. So it just takes a few layers to get the white stuff built up. And then the other thing that went on this week is when I got our pallets of clay, the clay was in different bags. And I called and asked, and they did say it was the same clay, but it doesn't seem to be mixing the same. So I'm got my doubts about that. I'm not sure. So I'm struggling a little bit with the slip here again this week. It's mixes really, really thick like pudding, and it should be thinner like, I don't know, maybe buttermilk or cream. It shouldn't be thick like pudding, so kind of working with that, because when it's thick like that, it doesn't want to come out of the molds, and you get air bubbles, and this kind of makes for a hard life with pouring. Okay, so we got another layer on there, and we'll probably need a couple more because I can still see the black. So when I look at it, I can still see the black through my white. But we're gonna just put him down and go on to the next one. Oh, the puppy walked on the laptop. Oh, that is my kitty walking on the table here at night. He's in bed today, so that was a little wet. I'm gonna brush that out on the paper towel. He's playing lazy, I think, because of the weather. It's windy and cold out, so he came out and drank and ate when I got home, but he's back under the bed, so which seems like a good idea. So we're just dry brushing along this edge just like we did with the other one. I kind of start away from it and then work my brush towards it until I can see, like right there, now it's getting that edge, and then I know how far that I've gone far enough. And you wouldn't want to do those big back and forth strokes there, because then you would have to come back and touch up your orange a lot. And the less you have to touch up, the better. Oh, so what kind of puppy you have, Wanda? I hope it's a little one and not a big one. If he's walking on your laptop. Or she. So we're just going to build up our white here. Again, we're going to cross that mouth and the nose. Grab a little bit and then brush, brush. So we'll keep going here. I haven't heard anything on our Creative Paradise molds yet, so I guess they're not in, but I would think they should be shipping any day here, because it was the 2nd of August and they said 8 weeks, so it was just a little bit wet, but we're going to brush it out and it'll be okay. Talking a little too much here and not watching what I'm doing. We'll grab a little bit of our white and brush it out, and then just keep brushing. You can still see we're still dry brushing just like we always do. It's just we're loading the brush differently than what we usually do. So it's just a different way to paint this month to show you guys, because that's when I'm painting your samples, or when I used to paint orders, that's how I loaded my brush to kind of not waste so much paint. So I thought you guys might enjoy that little tip or trick, or grab a little bit and then brush. see, can't think of what else is going on. Not much, because it's kind of a weather change here, so. I got to see Courtney on Tuesday. She came to the classroom, so that was really nice. I have about 36 of our November tree, or November box poured, which is the Knowles Holly Christmas tree. So as soon as I get this box shipped, hopefully next week I can get pictures of that posted. We are going to be chalking that, so that will be a new technique for November, because we haven't chalked for quite a while. We will base coat it white and then do some green chalk and some red chalk on it, because it does have the holly on it, so we'll put the red on the holly. If you don't want to make it as a holly tree, you could do it more as a lot of people do that tree with the fall colors on it. It's a really pretty tree to do that way too, so you could do that too. But right now we're just dry brushing our little corn candies here and getting them, their top halves in the white. So they take a little bit to build all the color up. I did get red and green glitter for you guys for, I think it'll be our Black Friday add-on special for our November box. And then I was able to get the red and green medley. It's kind of a red and green mix. So they're still making those colors. They're just not going to be making the green and the black anymore. So I know quite a few of you guys got that. So that'll be coming in your boxes too. So now we have a nice first layer of this white on this one. So we're going to let her dry and come back to our little fella. So I do like to work in, so Wanda says a 3-pound Yorkie that's 4 years old. Oh, that's hardly a puppy. That's a full-grown dog, even though he's a little thing. So now I talked too much and got too much paint on there, so I'm going to brush that out. So if you ever think you have too much, just go and brush it out on your paper towel, just like we used to. And then grab it. So he's must be a cute little dog that you can sit on your lap. He's awful little if he's only 4 pounds, though. Okay, so we're going to dry brush along our edge here again so we can kind of cover up some of this orange that's up on our white part. And again, I'm going back and forth instead of up and down so that I don't have to touch up my orange too much. Or you can do that little C-stroke and start away from it and work towards it. It's kind of whatever works for you, you guys. Just like the colors, you can always paint whatever colors you want to paint stuff. Like, don't feel you have to do the sample colors. So just grabbing our white and building it up. So the white does take quite a bit of building to get that black fairly white. And then I do have a bigger brush, like a size 8. Like I don't have a little bitty. You wouldn't want like a little size 1 or 2. Like that would take you forever with a little brush like that. You want something bigger because it is kind of a nice big area. So you kind of want to have the right tool for the right job, or the right size tool. I'm just grabbing that and brushing it in there. You can see like it's just almost like right down back to the styrofoam, and then I kind of know that it's dry enough in the brush or brushed out enough. to get our little tail up here whiter. And we'll just keep turning it. So some of you may have seen when I posted a picture of it's called a tabletop loom. So one of our ladies got that, and I've always wanted to learn how to do that, so she actually brought it in, and one of our other ladies knows how to do it, so she's kind of showing us how to do it. So we started that on Tuesday night, and I was more of an observer than a doer. I would like to make rugs someday. We're just making a little tea towel or a table runner at this time, just to learn how to load the string or the yarn, the fiber up onto the loom, which is called warping it. But it's something I've always wanted to do for quite a few years, so I'm kind of content with just seeing it done and not actually doing it at this time, just because I have a lot of other stuff going on. So do you guys all have other crafts besides your ceramics? It seems like crafters usually have more than one craft, I guess. I think we will have I gotta look at the dates, but we will have our Thursday when Halloween is. I don't know what the date is, but the Thursday before Halloween, we'll have a little Halloween party with our painting, even though we're doing the scarecrow. And then I do have some pieces to give away that I did a little cleaning out on the porch at the classroom today while I was waiting for the UPS guy to come, and we're going to have some bats, the gangbuster bats and the gangbuster spider and the witch's hat and the shoe. So we'll have a little Christmas party, or not Christmas party, Halloween party with our Thursday before, our painting night, the Thursday before Halloween. So make sure you guys tune in, because we'll have I'll have to come up with some trivia or something. Courtney used to do all that, but I'll find some trivia, and we'll have you guys post, and then we'll pick some winners and give away some spiders and bats and witches' hats and a couple witches' shoes too. Maybe I'll even throw in some glitter. So make sure you tune in. I'll post something in the group. I'll look at the date on the calendar. I haven't had time to look at the calendar yet for October. But we'll, the Thursday before Halloween, we'll have a Halloween party. So it looks like a few of you guys have other crafts going on. Let me see. We had fused glass and beading. Wanda says too many to list. That's kind of where I'm at. Oh, soap making for Denise. So a few other different little things. Courtney was really good. It was really nice to see her. She came with her Jason's niece for a art day at the classroom. And she's 10 years old, and she had a nice time painting a wolf and a cat and a bumblebee for her great grandmother. So she was there quite a couple hours in the afternoon. So it was a good day to have her. Of course, she didn't paint anything, but Amelia did. So, but that's okay. And then they had lunch there too. Courtney brought lunch for them, and just a nice little day out. So, let me see. Mona says quilting, Reese, and more. Oh, Marianne quilts too. Oh, Jackie says pottery, knitting, cross stitch, and plastic canvas. Oh, Carrie does barn quilts, knitting and crocheting and painting. Okay, all kinds of good stuff, you guys. I don't knit. That's what. I can knit, but I don't like to knit. It takes too long. I do crochet, though, and although I haven't had time to crochet. That's probably one of the first things I learned from my grandma when I was about, Oh, I was in 6th grade. I rode my bike to her house so she could show me how to crochet. So it seems like crafters usually have more than one hobby, and I know I do. Alright, so we're getting our little guy here whitened up. Trying to hold him so he's not shaking and you guys can see. He's getting whiter. I'm still losing a couple hairs here in this brush though. Are you guys enjoying your brushes that you're getting in your boxes this time around? Anybody using them? The nylon painting brushes, the square shaders. So you will get the light kit for your holly tree, and you'll also get the pin lights for the berries, and then glitter and snow. So that's kind of a big box of extras there with that one. The light kit will be your Christmas present from us. Have some ordered. Love them. Really like them. Okay. All right. So we got a good layer on this guy again. He's looking a little patchy or blotchy yet, so it's going to take a little bit more. So I'll probably put him down and go on to our next piece. This is usually the point where everyone asks, do I have enough? And that's the point where I have to say a little bit more usually. So when I look at it, it looks okay, but we can still see a lot of black through our main areas of our white, and we really just want our black down in our crevices. So that's what I look at when I say that it needs a little bit more. So I'm actually going to set him down and come on to our little guys and get those with their little bit more. And again, you can see the white through, or the black through the white, and so we want to just get that little bit more on there. And I'm just doing little strokes along the edge here so I don't get paint all over or get white all over the orange. But if you do, you can go back and touch it up. But you can see just that little bit more where we get rid of that black that's coming through like the main areas. It just makes it look a lot better. And then we can have our black coming through down here a little further, because that's going to give us our shading, because we have that crevice going on there. I want to get just a little more because I can still see a few areas that could use just a little bit more. And I thought these little plain candy canes were really cute because you could do different things with them. Put different words like eek on them, or I mean, we're going to paint the spider and the bats and the cats on them, but you can put kids' names on them. So that looks pretty good. So you can like compare this one in my left hand to the one in my right hand. So here's where you can see that black coming through our white yet. So that really tells me that I need more, and over here it's more solid white. We got some black coming through down here, but that's okay because that's giving us our shading going into that crevice. But our main area up here, we can still see black coming through, so we're going to do it a little bit more. Let me see. So it looks like you guys like the brushes, so that's good. Because it's just about time to start planning here for next year what we're gonna, what I'm gonna have in the boxes and get stuff ordered, because we have to order way ahead of time. So I never did have luck getting those spatter tools from that company. Actually, I should call him one more time and see if they happen to show up, because that's been a whole year. So those have been really hard to get. But you can use a brush to spatter. Also, I mean, we've done that, and you can use a toothbrush. There's other ways to spatter. I just thought like the spatter tool would have been a cool tool to have in your box as an extra. Alright, so we're just working our way around the top of this one to get it nice and white. Not have that black coming through. Let me see, I got boards one day last week, and I don't know if that was... Oh, that was Friday. That was after class, so I got a bunch of boards from a guy down in Appleton for making shelves for the molds in one of the storage units, although I haven't had time to work with them yet, but I got boards, and then I got 2 loads of cement blocks last Friday too, so alright, so he's looking pretty good. And now we can go back to our other white one. So you can see we've come a long ways. We got a little ways to go yet on her. And we're just going to keep grabbing our white off of our palette there and brush back and forth here. So I probably need like 2 more loads of the boards to finish to do that storage unit. So the Silver Falcon brushes, yep, they're really good brushes. They're my favorite, and I've actually contacted Silver Falcon like 6 weeks ago, and I need to do some paperwork so I can get them. I can purchase them and then be a dealer. So that's kind of my plan here. But I kind of spent my money on the boards right now, so I'll have to get to that next month. So. But I was able to get a hold of the Silver Falcon company, which that in itself is a miracle, so I was quite happy with that. At least I have a contact person now. So, let's see, looks like you guys like them. So Silver Falcon will be in Atlanta in February. Oh, okay. They were supposed to be in the Waukesha show too, but the guy was there, but he didn't bring the brushes with him, so I don't know what the story is there. But if you ever see them and you wonder about buying them, they're great brushes, the dry brushes or the painting brushes. So I am working on getting them. It's just going to be a little bit again, because I spent my money on cement blocks and boards for the storage unit so we can find stuff. Because right now everything is on pallets by season, so there's a whole pallet full of fall stuff, which is about 5 feet tall. So anytime I want something, I have to like unpile the whole pallet, because usually the one I want is on the bottom. Lucy says she's never tried them, but yep, they're great brushes. They're my favorite. Unless they've changed over the years too, like everything else. I don't know. But if you ever see them and have the chance to buy them, like I would sure say buy them, give them a try. Hopefully, maybe by the first of the year, I'll be able to get them. Now that I have the contact person, it'll be a lot easier. So, kind of have a list started of which ones I want to get. So, some of the ladies had some of their old ones at the classroom, and we wrote down the numbers and got that figured out and which ones to order, because there's only a price list and not an actual catalog to look at, so it makes it kind of hard when you can't like see them in person or look at a catalog picture. So we looked at their brushes and tried to figure out the ones that we want. Their liners are probably my all-time favorites. So we're just dry brushing our white on our little girl here, our Candy. Getting her lightened up so she's don't have them black spots all over. We did talk last week about doing the Grinch Christmas tree as probably an extra class in November, because our holly tree will go really quick. And I have him fired, but I didn't get it posted in the album yet, in the November album, just because I'm busy shipping you guys' box. But it'll get in there next week. I do have him cut out and fired, and then I'll also do one that's not cut out, so you can do different stuff with it. Then I found a crackpot. So I think the album's going to be mostly tree related stuff. So I found a crackpot Christmas tree that'll be in there. I found I'm not sure if it's Noel's or not, but it's a wreath with the bow on it that lights up, or the wreath part of it lights up, I should say, and then it has a bow. So I pulled that. So it's going to be all tree-ish related stuff, I think. So, and that'll be in our November album that's already started. And then the lava tree is already in there, and some of you guys have already posted on that. So that was just to kind of get a early count on that. I wasn't sure how popular it was going to be. Okay, so she's coming around here. We had a little more to do. So are you guys all in Christmas mode already, or are you still in fall mode as far as painting? It seems like we have a lot of fall left yet, but like it's going to be Halloween here before we know it, and then like it's Christmas. So we're just building up our white on our top of our corn candies here. Takes a little bit of time, but we're getting there. And you just got to keep turning them in every little which direction so you can get in all the little, get it nice and even in all the areas. Get under the little tail or the little head thing here. And you want to get on top of it as well and on the end. So you do have to turn your piece kind of in all different directions to see all that. Let's see. Denise is into fall yet. Mona's into Christmas gifts. Janet's into fall. Denise is into fall. Oh, okay, you guys are into fall yet. That's cool. It is, I mean, it seems early, but it seems like the time. We got another hair in there from this darn brush. It just seems like the time flies by so fast. I can't believe that cat didn't come in here by me tonight, you guys. He's still not in here. He must be tired. He must have had a hard day's work. And then when I want to sleep, he'll be up making a ruckus on me. Okay, so she's looking pretty good, but I think we're going to let her dry a little bit and go back to our fella. I think he needs one more layer on him. Fall, I like one holiday at a time. Jackie's doing both, Halloween and Christmas. Oh, for a craft sale. Oh, that's good. I used to do about 5 craft sales a year when I worked, but I haven't now since I've been doing the box with you guys, so there's not enough time for that. We're just going to get another layer on him. I can see a lot of black through here yet. So I usually hold the pieces in my lap when I'm painting, so it's a little different holding them up on the table always. So I always found that they always liked like snowmen and penguins, stuff you can personalize at the craft shows. So I did a lot of the bundle up snowmen, and then the carved, or the whittled bear and the whittled moose What was the other one? There was 3 of those little guys. The moose and the bear and something else. But snowmen are always a good seller. Big or small. I don't donate pieces for the sale. Oh, that's nice. One of our ladies at the classroom gets a few of the bent and dent pieces, and she does a craft sale with those too, and then the money goes to a nonprofit. So that's kind of how I contribute to that at this point, since I don't really have time. Craft shows are fun though. It's fun to meet all the different people, but they're a lot of work. Do you dry brush your cuddle up snowmen? Yep, dry brush those too, yep. Sometimes I'll, just to save time with the big snowman, I will paint the snowman part white and then put a dark color like on the hat and the mittens, and then dry brush just those areas. So it kind of depends on the piece and how much time and how many orders I had at the time. So, and we need a little more white here. I kind of like the snowman with the, ooh, way too much white. With the navy blue base coated or color washed, and that, or purple, or even the ultramarine, and then dry brush them with the white, and then you have a nice, like a hue of color underneath that white. So we're getting there with these guys, but we got a little ways to go yet. I can still see quite a bit of black coming through. So they are these guys are fairly smooth, so they do take a little bit more dry brushing just to get that white on there good. You can see when I do that little C stroke, it just kind of blends that paint right down in there a little bit better rather than going back and forth. At least that's my thoughts. So our leaves really changed color here this week. We were all green, like, well, it was green and a lot of yellow. It wasn't doing much color changing because it's been so warm here. They said the trees weren't changing color, but now we got cold and then we got warm and now we're getting cold. They really changed color this week. I thought I would take a picture tomorrow because like every day it's like just a tremendous amount of color change. And I think tomorrow will be a good day. I'll take a picture for you guys and post it. Because it's kind of amazing every day when I go to the classroom how much the different woods are so colorful. Okay, so he's looking pretty good. We're going to go and get our girl with a little bit more on her. See if we can get our comments to come back up. Let me see. Lucy was thinking it would be a long time, but you're faster than me by a long shot. Oh, I don't know. You can dry brush them or you can base coat them. I mean, you could even base coat these guys. Like, you wouldn't have to dry brush them. You could just paint them out. And then you could take a color and antique them. So, I like the dry brushing because you get the nice shading with it. Or you can take your, paint them and then take your chalks and shade them too. I actually think grabbing this little bit of paint and then brushing on your piece instead of brushing it all out on the paper is a little bit faster as well. So you might want to try that. Just don't get too much paint because then you'll have like a wet smear, and we don't want a wet smear. We still want to have the dry brush. It's still dry brushed. I just grab ever so little bit and then brush. Just brush back and forth, or just brush, and then come onto your piece. I can hear the caddies out there digging in something. Oh, we have a local fudge shop, and they had posted pictures of caramel apples last night, and I was gonna go get one today, and I forgot all about it. Because I had to be at the classroom in order for UPS to actually pick up the boxes, and then they just say that it's gonna be anywhere between 9 a.m. and 9 p.m. So I was really happy when she pulled in at 3, because I didn't want to have to cancel class tonight, so that your boxes get out. So I probably won't schedule a pickup in the future on a Thursday, because the driver didn't know. She said could always be someone different in different times. So 'cause I was taking it to our local drop-off, but they decided that it was too many boxes, even though I've been doing it since January. So I had to schedule a pickup, and that was a bit of a challenge to do too, because you only can do 30 tracking numbers at a time, and you have to click on it before you paste the new one in, otherwise it takes all the previous ones out. So it took me an hour and a half yesterday to figure that out, and to finally get them pasted in there without deleting them all. I'm pretty good with the computer, but not always completely good at it. Alright, so we're just going to get just a tad more on her. I want to get these done for you guys tonight. She's looking pretty good. Alright, I see I have a black spot on the top of this one, so we're going to get some more on that one. And then on the top of that one. Alright, so our next numbers are, we got all the tops white, so now we're going to dry brush medium green on our bows. Let's see, okay. So we're going to do our little fella here with our medium green. So we're going to shake up our medium green, which is our OS 463 medium green. And we'll get a little bit of that. And now for this, we do need a smaller brush. Because we do have a smaller area, so I'm just going to go with my size 3. And again, I'm just going to swipe past that green and get a little bit. Bring it over there and kind of brush and kind of just work it in there. And now I can kind of see my white plate through my green. And if you're not sure, you can brush on there. As you can see, hardly anything came out. So let's see, we got to get him and not her. So now we are going to dry brush our green onto our little bow here. And you could paint it if you wanted to as well. And we're just going to dry brush it. So you wouldn't want a big brush like the white one, because then we'd have green all over our white. So I start away from those, from my corn candy, so I don't get the green on the white. And then just kind of do that little back and forth and nudge slowly close to it, so the way I can see the paint is going on the bow and not on the white part. And then just work my way around it. I'm just going up to the green where the black is, down in that little crevice there. Kind of have my brush more vertical to do that. So a palette, like a tile, does work better than the styrofoam plate. But those are glazed, and I was afraid it would have too much shine on it, so that's why I'm using the styrofoam plate to show you guys how I load the brush. And we're just going to work right around our bow here. can come back and do bigger brush strokes on the main part of the bow, because we don't have to worry about getting, there's no white there, it's just the bow. Oh, a little much. Work our way around. So I'm hoping our Creative Paradise molds get here so they'll be dry, or I can get them dry, and then we can I can switch out your January mold to a snowman piece. And then I think we're going to do a crackle on either the birdhouses or on the snowman. And I'm thinking we might actually do it on the snowman for something really different once. I've seen the weathered looking snowmen with a crackle look on them, so I thought that might be a good little piece to do something different with. We did do the crackle, oh, I don't know if it was the first year or the second year on a mushroom. So I just think it might be something good to revisit again and give it a try. Alright, so we can do our big back and forth strokes here in the middle of our bow. So I actually have my furnace on already because it's that cool here already. Although I do sleep with the fan on and the window open, so. Just getting our green worked on here. And again, we don't want, I'm trying to get rid of the black that's coming through our green. We just want to have a nice green tie where the main parts are, where there can be shading down in the crevices with the black, that's fine. But like where this main area is here, I want to get that green. And then I just keep working my way around the tie too, kind of each time I can see I need to go just a little bit further so that there's not orange up on the tie, because it kind of looks like he went out of the lines in the coloring book. So you kind of want to make sure you don't, it just looks neater if you have it like right where the line and that crevice is, instead of having the orange come up onto your bow. Okay. So I can see a white get up onto my bow here, so I want to work that brush towards that, just real slowly till I see that it's covered up that white. So right about there. So we don't want the white on our bow, so it looks like we went out of the lines coloring. Okay, so he looks pretty good. Then for my little crisscrosses, I actually used a smaller brush and painted those. Or you could dry brush them. I probably dry brushed them, but we're just going to paint them so we can get done here tonight. And we're just going to take our green right up to that black crevice. And I'm just using this number 1 brush that you guys would have gotten in your box, one of your boxes. And then I'll highlight it with dry brushing with the other colors. But I'm just gonna paint them in. So this is just one of the nylon painting brushes. Let's see if we got some questions going on. We're just gonna So I think I'll just paint the front side so we can get through the whole thing so we get done here tonight. And then you would just do the same thing on the back. We're already at 8 o'clock. I'm just painting our medium green on our stitches. And I've seen these guys done all different colors. I've seen them black and white, and I just kind of thought the green kind of went with our bow tie. Tried to make it kind of bright with the green and the yellow and the orange. And then you just want to make sure you don't get your fingers in the wet paint. And then you want to brush it out so you don't have any big puddles. So again, we're just doing our medium green on our stitches. It's the same green that's on the bow tie. And you kind of got to flip them around and so you can get to it. Make it easy for you so you can see what you're doing. And I'm resting that painting hand on my piece so that it's nice and steady, because we do have little straight lines here. So I would normally like pull that into your body so it's like not out in the midair like it is on the screen. I just have it like that so you guys can see. And then if you need a second coat, you can go back and add another quick layer on top if you need to. I'm going to put a little on there because the black is still showing. And we'll wash that out. And from there, we're going to go to our lime. Oh, what do we got? A medium green now, our lime burst, which is our SS376 lime burst. So we'll get a little drop of that. So normally I would have done the back too, but I was trying to save time here. So I'm going to use my same green brush that I had before. I'm going to my lime burst, kind of work that in there, brush it out. So I still use my paper towel like when I'm going from one green to another green or one orange to another orange. So now we can kind of brush across our bow here and kind of highlight it a little bit. So we can see the ripples that's in it. Or the pleats. Oop, too much. So we're just getting that lime burst kind of on the top highlighted parts. Get a little bit more, and now we'll just brush real lightly across the center of our stitches. Just brushing real light, just kind of highlighting them. So I do have the flat brush, and that works really good for the little stitches. So you would do this on the back too. I'm just trying to save a little time here tonight. Okay, then I like to go and put my dark yellow on there, which I didn't have dark yellow, so I'm just going to use my lemon peel. I have to restock my colors here, you guys. So I use dark yellow, but I'm going to use lemon peel just because that's what I have. And I'm just going to get a drop of it. And I'm going to take my same green brush and grab that, brush it out a little bit. Now I'm going to actually put that yellow over the top of my lime burst because it's going to make it brighter. Hopefully you can see that. It's just a little bit. And it's just brightening it up more. And then we'll do the same on our stitches. We're just going to go right across the center of those stitches just to highlight them. Just really gentle, just a little bit. Okay, then I go back to my lime burst. And now I'll put that back over the yellow, and that's going to make our green, like, it's going to make the yellow green again, but it's going to be a brighter green. So hopefully you guys can see that. So that's just my little trick of highlighting that I do. Just to put that lighter color underneath there and then come back with that green color over the top of the yellow. And you can see it makes it green again, but it's nice and bright. It's like a brighter green instead of yellow. So I would do that on the back too. So hopefully you can see that nice highlighting that did by doing that. All right. Now we're going to do our black lines. So we have our black OS 476. Let's keep spinning our plate around here. Okay, black, come out. I think we had trouble with this guy last time. Okay, so we have our black that way. And now I want to dig for one of my liners here in my bucket. Let's see, where are they? It's gotta be one. Okay, so I have my 4200L. It's the long liner. And I'm going to dip into my water, so I had a drop of water on there, and I'm going to mix that with my black, just to thin that like ink a little bit. And then I take my liner and I turn it clockwise, and I draw it through there so I can get a nice point. And then you want to make sure you don't have a water drop up on your ferrule of your brush, because it will run down it and get on your piece. Alright, so now instead of doing straight up and down squares, I went at an angle. And I just kind of started I start in the middle first, because then I can divide up the other two areas into half. So this is kind of the middle. So we're going to, again, I'm resting that hand on there. And I just touch down, drag it towards me. And then I'll kind of stop right there so I can turn it around. Load up with some paint, and now I just kind of imagine where that line would have kept going, and that's where I start, and then push down, and then bring it to it. And so now I need it a little bit wider on the beginning, so we're going to just make it a little bit wider. And then I need it a little wider through the center here, the way it looks. So I kind of had wide lines and skinny lines. So these were the wide lines. So you can see he's kind of going at an angle now instead of straight up and down. So now I have him through the middle. So now I'm going to look at this green area, and I'm going to split that. So I'm going to go right in the middle of it and go at that same angle as the first black line. Touch down. Draw it towards me. And then kind of stop at the top there and turn it around. Grab some paint. Kind of imagine where it would end up at the bottom, and then join it up with the top. And then you kind of got to straighten your lines out and pretty them up. And so I kind of needed a little thicker up here. But you kind of need a nice liner to do that. Alright, so now we have this green area, and I'm going to split that in half. So we can't start up at the top because it'll be too close. So I have to come down a little bit. So you have to kind of like imagine that you're looking like at a piece of clothing. And sometimes the lines are like not all the way showing. And I just kind of straighten out that. Okay, so we have our 3 lines going that way. So now we want to do the same thing on the other side. So again, I'm going to try to keep them angled the same as that one. I'm going to start in the middle here with 1. Touch down. And then bring it towards me. And then we'll turn him. And again, I want to imagine where that line would come off, and you can kind of like lay your brush and you can see it would come like right there so that they can join up. And then kind of straighten them out. Okay. So now we have this area again. We're going to split that in half again. So this will probably be about right there. And then you want to have that, that same angle going. And sometimes you got to go back and touch it up if you have to. Alright, so we have that one going kind of the same angle. And now we have this little area here again, so we're going to split it again into half. It was actually kind of cute even with just the vertical lines. And then we'll join these 2 up, or this one up. And then you can kind of look at them and make sure they're all kind of the same width. This one here got a little thick, but that's okay. Once we get the other ones in, you won't notice it too much. We'll just thicken this one up a little bit. Okay. So now I have the other. We want to go the other direction diagonally as well. So we want to turn him. We don't want to go straight. We don't want to be completely horizontal. We want to like cross it. So we're going to do the third thing again. So or the 1/3. So we'll start here. And then angle it out. And then come to the outside of the bow and meet up to your first line. Okay, so now we're going to split this in half. And we're going to go at the same angle as the line we just did. So has anybody tried to do the diagonal lines? Or did you guys skip them all together? Alright, so now we have our little bottom area here, so we're going to do the same thing. Okay. So now we want those lines, you want to like imagine they went over here, like if that fabric was tied, so we're going to come through the middle of this one with that same angle. Go to the outside and come in. Okay, now we're going to split them in half again. So for me, that's easier than starting here and then spacing them off, because then sometimes I end up with like uneven spaces by the time I get to the end. So I kind of like to split it and then split it again. That's kind of what works for me. And then our bow, we kind of got a little bit of a, because that's kind of rounded there, you kind of want to round that a little bit too. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to split this half. So because the bow is coming down, we have to come down too. And so there's about the center of that half. And then we still got to keep going with our angle. And that's really all there is to it. And then I did go and put an extra skinny line in between each of them, so we can do that. So I'm actually going to get one more drop of water and thin it just a little more, and then kind of draw that out on there. So now I'm going to try to go lighter, and I'm going to go just in between each of my boxes and just go more straight up and down with my brush to get a lighter, just a real skinny line. So I'm just going right through the center of each of the boxes. And again, I got to turn it. You could even change this like to a green or say yellow or something if you wanted, like the little skinny line. But you got to have that drop of water in there so that that paint will flow off of that brush to get that skinny line. But I'm doing it the same way as the big line, just going from the top to the bottom. And we'll come on this side and squeeze this one in. And it's okay that we only have green here because that green is tucked underneath that bow. Oh, too much on the brush. Turn it. We had to tip that brush up more to get that nice straight, that little line. I did accent green with white. Oh, I bet you that's cute. I was thinking yellow would be cute on here too. We're going to give that one a little bit of a curve just because the bow is there and it's kind of got a little curve. So now I did I went the other way in between those green lines. And you wouldn't have to do all this. Like, you could just do it in one color. You could have left it with the highlighting on it and called it good. You could do polka dots. I think someone that did polka dots, that was really cute. You could put glitter on it instead. There's always more than one way to do all this stuff, you guys. So just like do what makes you happy and what you can do. Like, if this is too hard, then don't do it. Because I know if you have arthritis or something, it's hard to do these little skinny lines, or even if you have cataracts or so you don't have to do it exactly like this. Do it what makes it easy for you to do. I just wanted to show someone kind of how to do like the diagonal lines. It's really not hard, it's just doing them at a different angle. And then the main thing too is to have that drop of water in your paint, so it's just a little bit thinner so it flows nice off your brush. Okay, so then we have that done. So then I did the bow as well, so I kind of put one right through the middle of my bow. Or the center of the bow. then I tried to not, I didn't split it because it's you still want to have that right distance, so it's going to be like it's tucked under there, so we're just going to come over here. And we'll have less green on the inside. And the same with just this side here. Whoop, too much paint on there. Now we'll do our diagonals here. And then you can come back and put your little skinny lines in there too. Always resting that pinky finger on your piece so you have good control, and we want to get one down here so we don't have too much green down there. Alright, and maybe one up here yet. Alright, so that's all there is to doing your diagonal stuff. And then you can leave their eyes, his eyes, that the color that they are, or you can make them a little darker by just putting a little drop of the black in there. Alright, so we'll wash that out quick. And then our girl, we just did her with the purple, grape, purple, and lilac. Oh, and I didn't dig out the grape, purple, and lilac. That could be interesting. Here we got purple. I probably don't even have grape here. Because that was a new color that they brought back. Oh, darn. Okay. Confederate. Okay, well, you would do your grape first, but I don't have grape here. I gotta get my bucket updated, you guys. Sorry about that. So we'll just use our purple. And her bow, you can just paint that because I put the glitter on it, or you can dry brush it. That's kind of up to you. I did her bow actually with the I painted the black. You can paint black on the bow and then do the glitter, and then the grape, and then the purple and the lilac on there. So we can actually do this quick with the black. We're getting short here, so I'm just gonna paint her bow black because I glittered that up. And the cat's here. And you would do her stitches the same way that we did his stitches with the three colors. Dry brush it, and then you can paint it and then dry brush it. And just do hers the same as his, just with the different colors. But her bow, you do want to paint the black on there so you can put the glitter on it. So we'll just paint that quick. We'll wash that out. We will put the black drops in her eyes. And then I'll just paint her little stitches here quick. So I did use grape. I don't have grape here though. So it's not a big deal. And just make sure you don't get your fingers in the wet paint. Whoop, too much. So she's starting to come together here too with color on her now. I kind of like all the colors kind of brought it to life, just adding that purple to it. And then all we have left to do is put the azalea on the cheeks. And we'll do that quick so you guys can see that. And then they get sealed. Then I use the brush on sealer and then sprinkle on the bow and then just sprinkled the glitter on. I think our scarecrow will, there's a lot of dry brushing on that guy too because it's the front and the back. But it, oh, I just smeared that full. We'll get our purple on here. Touch that up. So I'll let that purple dry, then I would just come back and dab the white on it to fix it. Okay, so let's go back to him and we can get our azalea on the cheeks. Azalea. Okay, we have azalea OS 559. And then I like to take a nice soft dry brush, kind of a smaller one. And I'm gonna grab that and brush that out really good on the paper towel here. And then I just did it on his little nose. Now I did see someone put the glitter on the cheeks or on the nose. I really like that too. So just brush really, really light. You don't want to get too much on the cheeks because once you seal it, it kind of like gets stronger. And then I did a little bit on the nose too. And that's all there is to him. So then you would seal those with your normal sealer. Oh, and we forgot about our candy corns, you guys. Okay, so then you would seal these guys. Brush the brush on glitter on here, and you had a container of glitter in your box, and I seem to have lost mine. Oh, I really got it lost here tonight. Here's our black glitter. So you have black glitter in your box. I'm going to show you how to do your transfers, even though we did it last week. We'll do it again. So just brush on glitter on her bow after it's sealed with the aerosol sealer or your brush on, and then sprinkle your black glitter on there and then let that dry. And do her cheeks too. But let's do this real quick so you guys can see this. So just take your transfer paper, and this is just carbon paper. You can cut it down again if you want. I kind of like it a little bit smaller. So we have our cat on this one. So you just want to line your paper up on there. So we're going to kind of make it straight with it. And then I just have a pencil, and I'm going to take my cat and my bats and put it at the bottom of my carbon paper. And then I'm just going to hold it on there. And I kind of prefer a pencil. We're just going to trace, you can use a ball stylus, kind of trace around your little bats. And that carbon paper will transfer that onto your piece. So you could do this with any little thing. Any little pattern you wanted to put on these guys. Like you could do trees and cemeteries. And so I'm just going right around the outside of my cat here. And it don't have to be exact. You can print these little things off, little designs off on the computer. So there we have our printed cat and our bat. So then I just take my little liner brush and we just start filling it in with the black. And I do cover up the pencil line. And so you can make this a little different if you want to when you're painting it compared to the outline. It's kind of up to you. But that's all you have to do. So you could do this on the witch's shoes with spiders, spider webs. You could do it on those witch's hats. You could put the cat like this on the hat. You can, if you have access to shrinking or enlarging, like with a copier, you can make your patterns bigger or smaller. It's kind of endless what you can do with this, you guys. We're just gonna fill it in, kind of like coloring in the coloring book. So this is the old way that I learned how to get patterns onto ceramic pieces. I mean, now people use the crickets and the silhouettes and all that kind of stuff and stencils. But this is kind of the cheaper, affordable way to do it. And then if you're not real tech savvy, like crickets are kind of a challenge to me, so we'll just brush. You just want to brush it out so it's brushed out nice. And just like that, we almost have a black cat. But you could do cemeteries and old haunted houses and trees and spider webs and just a ton of different little Halloween things. Ghosts on your little candy corns. And now we got our little bats to do. You don't have to do it like exact as a pattern, just use the lines kind of as a guide, like they don't have to be exact. And then kind of outline it and fill it in. You could do bigger bats on here. Any of the Halloween stuff. And you could do this on other stuff too, like on vases. Say you wanted to transfer flowers onto a vase. Say you had angels and you wanted to transfer, like in loving memory, with dates and a name. Like you just do the same thing. Print it out and use your carbon paper and transfer it onto your vase or your angel. It's just really a handy little technique. So then you just paint it in, and you don't even have to paint it white. Like if you could paint flowers, you could just outline your flowers and then fill in your flowers in colors. Say you had like daffodils and tulips, like you could do that too. Like there's just a ton of little things you can do. Just a way to have a pattern on your piece to kind of follow and make a design. So that's all it is to it. Look at that. We have our cute little cat on there. So the trick or treat was the same thing. I can show you a quick how I did that. So I can show you how to do the letters and adjust those. So again, we're just going to take our transfer paper. I kind of use the straight end and put it along my bottom line so that it's straight. Then I take my trick or treat and try to kind of center it on there. You kind of got to look because you want to get it in between the two. You want it on the orange and between the white and the yellow. And then I just kind of make sure it's straight and not going uphill or downhill. And you want to probably put your piece down on the table so it's nice and steady. And then we'll just take our pencil, kind of trace our letters. So you could do this with kids' names. You could put like eek and all and boo and different Halloween words on it. Same way, just by doing that. Okay, and then we're going to take our black, and I did put my drop of water in there again, and now I'm just going to kind of go over my letters here. And you want them as straight as you can get them, but I'll show you a little trick that you can kind of correct them a little bit. But it just gives you a nice little guide, so if you're not good at freehanding it. We're almost done. You know, it's 8:30. I kind of forgot about these guys. But I'm just using a nice liner. You got to have a good liner to do lettering or fine lines. This is that 4200, the long liner. We carry the regular and the long. Oh, the cat is here. All right. So now I'm going to wash out my brush. And I don't see my ball stylus here, so we're just going to use the end of a brush. Okay, so I'm just going to use the end of my brush, go into my black, like go straight down and load it. And now at the end of each letter, so here's a good example. This side of the T is further to the left than the one on the right. So the one on the left, I'm going to put it right on top of the black on the end of it. But now the one on this side where it's short, I'm actually going to put my dot where the orange is, because that's going to extend my T and make it a little bit longer. And then when I do my bottoms, this guy is a little bit short, so I would actually put my dot in the orange. This one's a little bit longer, so I'm going to put it right on the black. So you can kind of adjust your dots to help adjust your letters to kind of make them more the same. And a ball stylus would work better for this than this brush, but just trying to show you guys here quick. I think I gotta go through my cart and get it revamped. So here we're gonna go on the black on the K's, and then the top of our O's, and the top of our R. But you can see it dresses up your letters a lot just to add those little dots to the end of them. And you kind of want the same size dots, so that's where the ball stylus comes in a little bit handier for those little, these little letters instead of this big brush. But the brush does work. But you can move that dot around to make it things look better. So like this T on the top, it's kind of short, so I'm actually going to put the dot in the orange instead of on the black, right where the orange touches the black. And now this on the bottom, I'm going to put it on the black instead of on the orange because it was down a little bit. So you can kind of adjust that a little bit. All right, so there's our trick or treat. So pretty cute, pretty easy. You want to wipe that off always. So then these guys just get sealed with your sealer as well. So that is your box for September. How sweet it is. We ran a little bit out of time, but I wanted to show you guys how to do that. So, and I kind of forgot about them too. So hopefully you guys enjoyed doing this box. We're kind of at the end of the night. I can show it to you again. We got our girl and our boy. And then we got our trick or treat. And then these guys are two-sided, so you can flip them around if you wanted to as well. So, let's see if we got any questions going on here yet tonight. So that is it for the night. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Your boxes are going out. They most of them were picked up today. I have another 25 to do tomorrow, and then maybe a couple on Monday. We'll have to see how it goes with getting UPS to pick them up, because you have to do it ahead of time, and I think I actually have to run them to Appleton tomorrow, so we'll see how that works. They weren't scanned in yet, but they had picked them up at 3 today, so that is probably it for tonight. So I hope you guys have a great week and enjoy the weather and enjoy our fall. So Patty says she didn't do the lines, but you had glitter everywhere. Oh, glitter's good, you guys. Glitter covers up a lot. So, all right, we will see you guys next Thursday again at 7 p.m. Central Time. So have a great week, and thanks for joining me tonight. Thank you, everyone. Bye.